Let's run a scenario where we try to send Ethereum from one account to another. So let's say we're trying to send Ethereum from Kakashi's account to Itachi's account. All right, so Kakashi has got a balance of 5 Ethereum. He's trying to send 1 Ethereum to Itachi. Kakashi will go ahead and create the transaction. So the account from, the account to, the Ethereum amount, which will be 1 ETH, the nonce, so let's say his account has transacted 15 times, and then gas details, so 2 Gwei. Kakashi will then sign the transaction with his private key. Now, in order for this to be a valid transaction, the account which is being deducted with Ethereum must sign the transaction with the private key. The transaction will then be sent to an Ethereum node. Now, this node will send the transaction to the rest of the Ethereum network. The node will also validate the transaction. So it'll ensure that the private key does in fact correspond with the account from. This transaction will be put into the transaction pool. So this is a pool of all validated transactions. So transactions which have been proven to be correct. Now, every single node in the Ethereum network will do the same process of receiving a transaction, validating a transaction, and then adding it to the transaction pool. Next, the Ethereum network will choose a validator node. So with proof of stake, the Ethereum network chooses a node that will be responsible for creating the next block. So the transaction pool is just a pool of valid transactions that each node has, but none of this has been added to the blockchain yet. So let's say the Ethereum network chooses our node here. So then this node will go ahead and create the new block. So what it'll do, it'll add all of these transactions into the body of the block. All right, so transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3. Then based on these transactions, it'll compute the new state root or world state, which is the account balance. Next, this node will add the new block to its blockchain. What it'll also do is send the block to the rest of the Ethereum network. So every single node in the system will go ahead and ensure that the transactions in the block are in fact valid and that the account balance or the state root based on these body changes are in fact correct. Once this is done, then the new balance will sit that Kakashi has got 4 Ethereum and Itachi has got 3 ETH. And the entire process will repeat itself. All right, so let's just quickly walk through that one more time. So Kakashi wants to send Itachi 1 Ethereum. Kakashi will create the transaction and sign the transaction with his private key. He will then send the transaction to a node. The node will then send the transaction to the rest of the Ethereum network. All of the nodes will validate the transaction, so ensure that the private key matches the public account. Then they will add that transaction to their transaction pool. The Ethereum network will then pick a node to be the validator node, so the node that will create the new block. The chosen node will then create the new block with all of the transactions in the body, and then it'll compute the new world state or state root in the header. Once the block is complete, it'll add it to its blockchain as the latest block. That block will then be sent to the rest of the Ethereum network. Each of them will ensure that the transactions are in fact valid and that the correct account balance and state root has been computed. Once confirmed, that will be the new blockchain. All right, awesome, guys. I hope this helped you understand the blockchain a little better. And hopefully through this, you guys will find interacting with the blockchain much more simple and easy to understand.